I thought we were gonna do like a skit, like a bit.
This is the skit.
Guitar Cucks. What did he say?
I don't even know what that is. You have to explain it to me.
Why do we love the idea of watching other people play our guitars? Or do we?
So, is there any other fields that, besides guitars, that we like to see?
Oh yeah, play it harder.
Okay, it's a real problem. We all have this problem, and I think this might be the way, because it probably could translate into the rest of our lives if we weren't controlled. And so that's why through guitar we're allowed to do this, because I myself have fallen victim to this. I own a guitar that I bought from Wildwood, the Shell Pink Todd Krause master build. That it was one of the first batches of when Wildwood was doing demos. And I was talking to Steve, the owner, and he's like, Baxter, I've got something special coming out. Dramatic pauses, and I was like, what? He's like, you can't tell anybody. This is before. And he's like, we're doing something no one else has done. We're doing videos of all of our guitars. I was like, no way, you have too many.
Crazy.
And then it's like, and I already was lusting after that. He's like, we got a video done, this Shell Pink one. And so we all know like Greg Koch becomes the Wildwood master.
Right.
But Greg Koch didn't demo mine. I was really so disappointed, because I was
so sad.
I wanted Greg to, there's another guy, I don't remember his name, but he was good, but he was a lot littler, more like my size, where Greg is like a monster. And you want this monster man, like he's the Dirk Diggler of guitar demos.
Not to mention his witty banter.
Kazowie! It's like all over the place. I wanted him just to spray his banter all over my guitar.
His cockisms.
I mean, it can't get much better. When I said Greg Koch, it's
Greg
like, bam,
cockisms.
Guitar cuckery, and then Greg Cockery.
He really is. I mean, it's just unreal.
He's a force of nature.
The way that he plays.
And Steve and the team at Wildwood sort of nailed the whole demo thing, and they got it. They were the first to bass with it. Like other people, like, no, we were doing it first. And like they did it better though. Like I mean, they just did it, because when they did it, like bam, every guitar. And when they figured out Greg, they had multiple guys do it. And then when Greg was it was like, oh. And I was so sad that Greg wasn't playing my guitar. I wish I could just send it back to Wildwood and he could play it.
No, you can't.
That costs a lot of money.
Probably.
And then we don't want to demo your guitar, Baxter. I'll just have to run to Greg at NAMM or something with my guitar on the back.
Just carry your guitar around.
Play this guitar for me, Gregory.
Which brings us right back around to our original concept.
Which was?
Why we like to see other people play our guitars.
I mean...
And or do we?
Yeah,
Because see, here's the funny thing. Like, I know guys who love it. So it's like almost like they love that more than playing themselves. Like they have these crazy nice guitars, and they love nothing more than to hand it off. And you know, it's always the thing like, oh, I don't get to hear it like this from this side. It sounds so much better. It sounds different on acoustic guitars, and then on electric guitars, you know, it's just...
That is funny, because I didn't think about that. That is a common thing that happens here.
It happens here a lot.
And with you and I, because we get lots of people who bring in their guitars for us to play and to see. And it's an awesome bonus of working at a guitar shop, because we get to play the coolest guitar.
They're like, play this $20,000 guitar. Well, if I have to. Okay.
It's like, and we're doing them a favor in some weird world, which makes no sense.
This is great. And we're like, yeah, cool.
But no, it is funny, because there's some amazing guitars that we've even sold to folks that they'll bring back to us, or they'll pass around. We'll see them in town with people just playing their guitar. These are very expensive guitars, some of them, and it's I guess I'm guilty of it though, because I was just thinking of myself, and like it was with the Greg Koch thing. So I'm definitely guilty of this party.
I mean, for me, it's kind of odd. I don't really like just anyone playing my guitar.
No, I don't want just anyone. I want
Greg but
Koch.
I like to hear you play my guitars. Because you play differently than I do, and you make them sound
I mean, differently is a different word for like just better.
Better. That's what I meant. But I was trying to keep it
more betterly.
More betterly. Sean, I hate when Sean plays my guitars. I'm only kidding, Sean. I love when you play my guitars.
I laugh because it's true.
But yeah, you know, so like it's just, I don't know. Is that just a personality thing? When you like to watch people?
I like certain, like I do. I like to hear other guitar players of just certain levels play any of my instruments. Just because it's played differently, and I enjoy seeing how they can coax out different tones of it. And I don't like seeing my children like destroy my guitars.
No.
So watching them play, it's not like this joyous moment you think in a Lifetime movie, where it's like, oh wow, look at my kid putting Matchbox cars into my nice acoustic.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, it's so sweet and charming.
When I was like probably 19 or 20, I had just moved to Charleston. And I was playing this like open mic thing. There used to be a place called Cumberland's downtown Charleston, which was a fantastic little club bar. I don't think it's been there for a long time. But anyways, this guy's there and he's like, he wants to play. And he asked if he can play my guitar. And a young, naive me was like, sure, you can play my guitar. And he got up on stage.
Oh, God.
And my guitar had a Koa top, no pick guard, satin finish. And he's just beating the ever-loving heck out of my guitar. And he's also only doing Britney Spears covers, which 19-year-old me didn't really find cool or amusing.
No, you were not charmed by this.
I was not charmed.
I would find that fantastic. And then watching the whole...
Now I would, but then I was just like, the whole thing, my head almost exploded. Yeah, I just thought.
Yeah, you were stupid.
Yeah, it was. Well, that, and you know, I feel like it cured me. It cured me of this thing.
Or just like the horror we both seen, like one of our friends locally who has a very nice Brazilian rosewood acoustic guitar, and he'll go, and he's a wonderful singer-songwriter. He's one of the best in town. He thinks he's not good. It's really funny.
He does. He needs confidence. You're great.
Saying his name,
you're wonderful.
If he's watching by any chance.
Yes.
But anyway, he passes his guitar around and people are like,
voice.
that's a really expensive guitar.
Right.
No, it's like in an open mic setting. This is pre-COVID. I haven't seen it since.
Even to me, he's like, play my guitar, and I'm like,
and
okay.
You're an aggressive player.
Well, that's what stresses me out because I am an aggressive player. So.
Yeah, because I'm like, here, Jonathan, do you want to not play my guitars, please? Here's my acoustic, you can't play it.
I have learned to tone it down, but that's why sometimes I have a hard time because it gets in my brain. I'm like, okay, don't scratch these people's guitar.
People say, why does Jonathan not do the acoustic demos? I'm like, well, that answers your question right there. He's too funky. He's got too much funk patrol, and do you want that guitar with Jonathan scratches on it?
You don't.
No, he does
not.
not.
If you do, let us know. You pre-buy it. I'll play it, put some scratches
relic
on
it for you.
And then we'll send it to you.
Oh, God, Lee Jean was in here the other day, like, just jamming out on an NOS custom shop. I was like, what are you doing, dude? It's like, he's a guy who works here. And we're like, you can't shred on a non-relic guitar. Hands off. There's a do not touch sign on that for a reason.
So maybe here's the hidden nugget of wisdom in this ridiculous video that we're making.
This is a fun video.
It is a wonderful video. If someone hands you their great guitar to play, maybe be conscious, like, hey, let's don't destroy the top of this guitar. Like, if it is pristine and like some kind of great exotic wood and there are no pick scratches, if there's pick scratches or it's a relic, nobody can have at it.
Now, the flip side, if you want to watch Joe Strummer play your guitar, I would not mind a scratch or 5 at all. You know, like if I have like a guitar and I'm giving it to like some iconic rock star and he's like in town or something, and I'm like, do your worst to it. It's
For a
fine.
second, I thought you just meant like John Doe, like Joe Strummer, like the average.
No, Joe Strummer's.
Then I was like, oh, that's a person.
He was in this band. It was a semi-unknown band called The Clash.
Underground.
And they have a Fender custom shop, Joe Strummer Telecaster, coming out soon too, which we will be getting one, which I'm very excited about.
Do you remember was that the first one that had the kind of weird relic?
Oh, the first Road Warren experience, that was bad. That's a bad. So if you,
the guitar was actually pretty good, but the relic was,
This one's a lot more expensive.
A little bit.
It's in the stratospheres of the custom shop world. It's very akin to the Mike McCready Strat, which I played. That's really dope, as the young children say.
Is that what they say?
From the 90s.
Is that what they're saying?
Which would have been me, I guess.
Which would have been we made.
Mom, that's dope. Shut up, son. Whack.
Shut your mouth.
That's when she used to beat me.
Don't do dope.
Speaking of like getting beat by your mother, like, has anyone seen the last Starfighter? Because that
is that the one where the kid plays the video game?
Yes, and
I love that movie.
He gets recruited.
Finally, a movie.
And that's one of the first CGI movies, like where they do the whole space battles are all CGI.
Oh, this little like lizard partner guy.
That dude was awesome.
And then he has like little
and that was a famous actor who played that. And he had like the car that could fly, kind of like a DeLorean, but not. I mean, it's such a good movie. It
was a great movie.
Dark movie, but great. And then the Death Spiral or Death Blossom, whatever it was called. Death Blossom, I think.
Pretty amazing. I think you're right.
I've talked. My kids have not seen this movie yet because I'm still worried it might be a little bit too adulty in some ways. But because 80s movies are like different than like Marvel movies and stuff.
Like Roadhouse.
That. My kids have seen Roadhouse. They've seen Top Gun and Roadhouse and Red Dawn. I'm not a bad father.
I mean, come on.
I mean, that's just like, that's the things you need to know as growing up is a young child. But by the time they reach 8, they better have seen Roadhouse, Red Dawn, and whatever.
I'm the cooler. You got to be the cooler.
Don't eat the white
You gotta
man.
be nice until it's time to not be nice. That's right.
God. Like in the doctor in that movie that he like, ends up like dating, she like super hot, has that terrible trashy haircut.
I mean, yeah.
Like my fantasy as a child. Oh god! So if you haven't seen any of those movies, you're missing out in life. Enjoy some of the finest. And he had like the little things that would go up over like his headlamps on his car that would block him from being broken.
Oh yeah.
What a cool! Like I wanted.
He bought like the old car so they could,
they could smash it, and he drove his Mercedes. So cool.
It
Such
was
a cool
cool.
guy. I mean,
Let's quit this and go be bouncers. Professional
I was
bouncers.
a bouncer one night at a club I worked at called Shanae in New York.
How'd that go?
I bounced someone. It was
Did
actually
you?
really funny because I don't know if I've talked about this before, but it was a really great. I enjoyed it. So anyway, this guy.
I don't think I've heard this.
He was getting up on stage. So we haven't done this on video before, Eddie?
No.
Okay, fine. Well, I'm telling you again. I apologize if I have. But he was getting up on stage, and like there was a shortage of bouncers, so they asked me to bounce. Which is
Baxter will be perfect.
150 pounds. Go get him.
Yeah.
I was like, yay! I fought a couple times in life, and not on the winning team. Anyway, so this guy was getting on stage, and he hit the mic where it's like, and when the mic hits you in the mouth, it really hurts.
Could be bad.
The band, I'm there, and they're like, hey, I'm just going to protect the band. So
Yeah.
I get the guys like, hey, you got to get off stage, and he gets on stage again. So I grab him, I pull him down. Like he's a bigger dude. He's probably 40 years old, like a bigger dude. And I grab him, I have him like this, and I run him outside the club. I go through 2 sets of doors and throw him out in the street. I can't believe, I don't know how I do this. And so like, then I hear later that guy's waiting outside the club for me, and there's only one exit. There's no back door, so I have to exit through the front. Eventually, like it's like 2 a.m. He's out there. He's like, "Hey," I'm like, "I'm about to get destroyed." He goes, "That was the coolest I've felt in decades. Can I buy you a drink?" I'm like, it's like, "Okay." So that was Baxter's bouncing. My one and only bouncing experience. I survived it.
That's a fantastic story.
It was good.
I thought it was going to end with you,
No, because the other bouncer who was supposed to work that night, I own a bunch of his artwork, and it's framed in my apartment right now. Kevin Wendell, FAQ was his art name. Look him up, Kevin Wendell. He's passed away since, but he was part of the Rivington art scene, and it's like sort of the post Warhol Basquiat sort of scene in New York. And he was a buddy of mine who used to bounce clubs as well. Anyway, that's it. Little side note. Don't do drugs, kids, because that's what did him in. But yeah. Anyway,
so there you go.
That's
Anything
it.
else?
So, so I would love to see everybody play my guitars a lot of the time.
Maybe.
Sometimes,
We have to talk
cool with
first.
it. I love when people play it. I have that 41 Martin that'll let everyone play.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you should play it. It's meant to
But
play.
I feel like that guitar is indestructible.
It is. It survived World War II.
Yeah. I mean, it's indestructible.
Take us home, Johnny.
All right. You know what to do. Click like and subscribe if you have not already. Click the bell so you don't miss videos in the future.
This is how
Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate it greatly. We'll see you next time.
See you guys.